I recently received a Samsung S7, which was the flagship of 2016. How would a 3 years old flagship device feel in 2019? Let's find out. The good old Samsung design back from 2016. For some reason, it doesn't feel like a 3 years old design. I guess the more screen to body ratio with and without notch isn't that of an old trend yet. Samsung has been the biggest competitor of Apple, but things have started to change now. I was curious of how would a 3-year-old Samsung flagship would stack against the phones now, especially for a casual user. The first thing which you will notice on the S7 is the small screen size and less screen to body ratio. The single lens on the back is kinda nostalgic. Also, you would notice how big the lens design is. The build still feels very premium. The glass and aluminium combination feels great. The phone has a glass back, so feels slippery like all the new devices which are in the market right now. But hey, gotta use the wireless charging. Yes, Samsung had wireless charging on the S7 and even on the S6. I love the use of fingerprint scanner as my primary method of unlocking now. And the old pattern unlock made the unlocking a little uncomfortable and long. But this is one aspect where Samsung can improve, as I feel even on the Note 9 the fingerprint unlocking isn't as fast as many other devices out there. But I guess things will change with the on-screen fingerprint scanner on the S10s now. Things were simpler back then with no notch and yes, a 3.5mm jack on most of the phones. But the presence of a hardware button with capacitive keys is something we definitely won't miss. And I think this is one of the areas where the development of the phones has really worked well for us. Increasing the screen to body ratio helps in gaining more usefulness from the overall dimensions of the phone. So thumbs up for all you tech innovators for this. The rear camera is still impressive for the casual shooter in daylight. I would say it can still impress many of us out there. The front camera lacks clarity, as Samsung really did work on improving this from their S8 series and not before that. Kinda strange. In low light, the rear camera performed better than my expectations actually. I didn't test the front camera as I was already disappointed with it in daylight. But before I come on to the next part, I would really appreciate it if you can hit on that subscribe button. I have more videos on my channel on similar lines and more coming up in the future. The battery life was still typical Samsung. Can get you through a day and sometimes a power bank might be able to help you. The 3000 mAh was sufficient back then if you are running the phone at full HD resolution. It might hog the battery more if you increase the resolution more. The device felt mostly lag free. I'm surprised the Exynos 8890 still works like a charm with all the latest apps. I just simply love the fact where I browsed many websites with desktop side mode switched on in Chrome and they all worked flawlessly and the pages were extremely smooth. Multitasking and other features felt mostly lag free too. The split screen worked smooth like a butter too. The good performance on a 2016 phone in 2009 is because of two reasons. How Android keeps optimizing and how Samsung has tried to really cut on the bloatware. The One UI is the latest example on how a good software optimization can really affect a device. I'm not sure if the S7 will receive the One UI update or not. It just received a security patch for February 2019 and there are no signs of Android Pie.
Look how beautifully it is dancing. Mind you that this is a $1,000 smartphone.
The speakers on the phone are really bad. I remember how Samsung used to fail in this aspect around S4 to S6. They did improve it from the S8, but with the Note 9 they have simply transformed them. They are now more louder and also the surround sound effect is great. So really, apart from the bad speakers, the low screen to body ratio and the bad front camera, there's nothing more which I can say against a 3 years old device. It is still working flawlessly. I really felt no lags while I was using it with all the latest apps and I was pretty comfortable with it except for the fact that the screen was a little small. If you get a good deal on the phone, let's say if you can buy the phone in $2,000 or 15,000 Indian rupees, would I still recommend it? Absolutely no, because the architecture on the processor is old and you get way more features now on the phones around that price range. Or even if you add a little more, you can get a way better deal. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. That's all for today. Mewbot out.